Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Energize Your Online Business podcast. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. As always, I have my fabulous co-host, Kate Sitars, with me. Hello, Kate.
Hello.
Hello. And today, Kate and I are super excited to be joined by an amazing businesswoman and a star CSS student, Kendra Perry. Hey, Kendra.
Hello. Thank you, ladies, for having me.
We are super duper excited to have you. We are really we're really looking forward to digging in and talking about your business, but also talking about your marketing and your experience putting together your circuit and all of that fun stuff. So let's get started with your business. What is it that you do? How do you change the world?
Yeah. So I am a former health coach. I started out as a functional health practitioner in, 2014, I think. I feel that made me feel old. That's like 10 years ago. And so I started out in that world and did that for about 5 or 6 years, and then started to really feel more excited working with practitioners. And when I first started my business, I ended up working for the certification program that I was certified through. So I was always working with practitioners. And then when I stopped working for that company, I was like, I miss the practitioners. So I ended up creating a program for them, for practitioners, that teaches them how to interpret hair tissue mineral analysis, which is this kind of obscure functional test, but basically it measures the mineral content of the hair. The minerals don't deposit randomly in the hair. They actually deposit very specific patterns, and the patterns and how they are kind of balanced with each other actually gives you all this incredible insight into things like digestive health and thyroid function and adrenals and the stress system. And it's really crazy. And when I learned this for myself, because I was having my own health problems, this was a big part of my journey because I had chronic fatigue, I had undiagnosed Lyme disease, and everything I was doing wasn't working. And when I learned how to balance my mineral system and detox metals from my body, that's where I truly healed. So I had a lot of people being like, you need to teach this, because there was a very limited lack of information on the internet. It's obviously very hyper niche. So I created that course in 2019. And then I noticed that the practitioners were really good at being practitioners, but they were terrible at being business owners. So then I also started my other program, Health Coach Accelerator, which is focused on helping kind of newish health coaches, practitioners, professionals start and grow their online business. So those are my two programs, the one that teaches hair tissue mineral analysis, and then the other one that teaches business to those practitioners.
Oh, cool. Do you end up then with a lot of overlap between those two
There's
programs?
a lot of overlap. Yeah. Because most people come to me for the hair tissue mineral analysis because health practitioners are just so nerdy, and they always want to update their education, and their business can be a total dumpster fire, but they're like, I need to learn more about this because this is going to help my business. So they usually come to me for that. And then they're like, okay, I need clients. So then I'll go into your other program is usually how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Really smart of you for putting those two together. It seems a natural, that's kind of getting into we sell them the chocolate and then we give them the vegetables. So you sell them the hair tissue analysis, and then it's, but you also actually need this too. I love it.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. Yeah,
exactly. Mm-hmm.
So as you have tried to market your courses, what are some of the challenges that you've come up against?
I think the biggest challenge I came up against was having two programs. I know you have multiple programs, and obviously your energy is split. And it's really hard to market two programs. Is something that I learned. So, with the hair tissue mineral analysis, when I kind of really made the switch away from working with health clients, I was kind of doing both. I was hair tissue, and I felt like a crazy person. So I kind of made the decision, okay, I'm going to really focus on marketing one of these programs, and maybe I'll sort of let the other one go. And my passion was really business. So if you follow me on social media, you listen to my podcast, it's all very business focused. I don't really talk much about the hair tissue mineral analysis, but what happened was that one just continued to sell without marketing. It just continued to kind of sell in the background. Again, there's not a lot of competition. It's very hyper niche. We rank number 1 on Google. Also, the certification program that I used to work for, they send me a lot of affiliates. So I was, still making money. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to shut down this program because it's still making me money. And it was just on my website making 5 sales a month. But I was kind of getting to the point where I'm just and this was right before I signed up for CSS. I was like, I feel like I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. If this course sells so well, and I've managed to maintain a couple hundred students in the program at all times without any marketing. Like, what if I actually marketed it? But the challenge was obviously like, I don't have the bandwidth to be out there, like live launching and doing social media for this whole other niche, even though they're very overlapped. Like it is, it's also very different. So.
Exactly. And so you've had it kind of up on your site. It's been essentially, it's been evergreen. What made you decide to switch over to a circuit?
So like I initially, when I first had the program, I did live launch it probably like 3 times. And that always went really well. But then I came up against that problem where I was like, I can't market both. I'm all over the map. I feel like a hot mess. I'm going to just focus on the business. And so I was just like, okay, I need to figure out like how to market this. And I put up an evergreen webinar. I didn't really advertise it. And, it was a very basic standard evergreen webinar. I put no effort into it. And I just left that for years, and it would make some sales here and there. And that was fine. But yeah, I was really starting to think, because I think the decision we have to kind of make as business owners is, we want to be industry leaders, or do we want to be lifestyle entrepreneurs? I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur. I'm very much like, my passion is the mountains, being outdoors, hiking, skiing, any adventure sport. And I was just like, I don't want to be working all the time, but I feel like this is like the $1 million business, So I was actually, your ad got to me and it spoke to me, because I was like, really didn't want to be live launching it. Right. And I was like, how do I market this? Like, should I be putting ads behind this evergreen funnel? I don't know. And I heard your ad and I listened to your webinar or your light bulb video when I was cross-country skiing. So I didn't actually watch it. I listened to it. I was cross-country skiing and I was like, what is this chick talking about? Like, I don't know. I was super skeptical. And by the end, I was like, okay, yeah, I think this is something I need to try. So I ended up investing, I think right after I listened to the video.
Yeah. Well, and skeptical completely makes sense, right? We, especially in this industry, we have all signed up for courses, and you get into it and you're like, oh, wah, wah.
Totally.
What were some other things that you were skeptical about getting into it?
Well, I think it's a bit scary to dive into it, because it's a bit of a commitment in terms like there's a lot of work that has to go into it. There's a lot of writing. There's a lot of work that has to go into it. And I guess I was just skeptical. I'm like, will this actually work? And I think what I was the most skeptical about was, okay, I'm going to offer them this like fast action, like one-time only bonus. Yeah. And then, you have a very different approach where you give them like the nurture emails, and then you're right after that automatically offering it at full price. And I was just like, I just didn't think anyone was actually going to buy after the fast action. And once they're in the circuit, I'm like, I just don't think I'm going to make any sales, but I have. So it does work.
I was like, can we talk about that?
Yeah. Are you comfortable sharing what some of your results are? Yeah.
Yeah. So I launched the funnel on April 24th, and I didn't have any expectations because I was going to Italy. I spent a month in Italy in May and June. So I did it right before. So I didn't like have any, like, I didn't put any like kind of launch behind it or anything. I didn't even put my email list through it. And honestly, I haven't really been building much of an email list for that side of the business, like, because people they're not even on my list. They'll just buy through referrals and that sort of thing. So I maybe have like 900 people over like 4 years on this email list for this one thing. So I didn't put it through the email list. I didn't put it on social media. The only thing I did was turn it on. And the sales page that ranks number 1 on Google, all I did was switch it to being able to buy to being like, start with the free video. That's really all I did.
100% organic traffic then.
This is 100% organic traffic. Wow. And then I think I put it in switched up my Instagram link in bio. I put it in there, but I don't market it on Instagram. So that's all I did. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll like make a sale or two, like who knows, whatever. And it was insane. It like in the first 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks, like there was like 4 days where I made like 12 sales in like 3 or 4 days. Like, and I was like, where are these people even coming from? And I think a lot of it is Google search, but also like, we switched up our affiliate program, so they have to go through the video too. But a lot of it is from just organic Google search and referrals and that sort of thing. And it just took off. And to this day, I literally like 2 weeks ago pushed my email list through it, but it's already generated, I think, almost like $55,000+. And that's like without ads or without any promotion. So I think it really speaks to the fact that I was losing a lot of sales because people were hitting my sales page on the regular because of, us ranking really well on Google and, getting a lot of hits, but then I wasn't capturing them in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no urgency. They were kind of like floating around and whatever. So I'd get my like 5 or 6-ish sales a month, sometimes more, sometimes less. And that was cool. But this I think is just really capturing all the traffic now, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic.
And for context, so April 24th, and today we're recording, it is July 14th. So that's a handful of months that it's been.
Yeah. Totally.
Without doing
Incredible.
anything.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. And your numbers also across, you shared, which I have them in front of me. If you want to read them, if you don't have them, I can share them.
Yeah, you read them because I've already forgotten them.
Yeah.
They've left my brain.
Good, right? You don't have to think about them. Your opt-in conversion rate is 48%.
Wow.
Your video completion rate is 80%. Your fast action email open rate is 75%. Your fast action email click-through rate is 9.5%. Your sales page conversion is 25%, and your lead to sale conversion, so your overall conversion rate, is 18%, which is amazing.
Congratulations. Oh my goodness.
And those numbers have gone down slightly because now we have a little bit more data. Obviously, like as you have more people go through the funnel, the numbers go down, but they're still incredibly high. Like I think our sales page conversion is still at 20%. And
amazing.
Yeah, I know it's really crazy because I don't get that kind of conversion with my other course. I think obviously it just speaks to I think how important it is to niche down in a way, because like my other course is in a much more competitive market. So I don't get conversion like this, but this one is in such this, what do they call it? Green ocean, blue ocean, that whole ocean thing. And it's just wild because ultimately not a ton of people, like a few hundred people have actually gone through the funnel, but it's just selling like gangbusters. So it's very exciting because I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to put some ads behind this or, focus on more traffic and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's awesome. Now, as you were putting together your circuit for this program, was there anything that surprised you, or anything that maybe any messaging that you thought was a little bit different? Or
I really like your process because I feel like we're on the same page. In my business program, I speak a lot to messaging, but I think what I don't know if it surprised me so much as I was just impressed was, with your market research interviews, because this is something I teach my students and I've always done, but just your level of questioning, just like, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that, like going deeper and deeper and deeper. And that I found was really helpful because I think what I discovered, and I thought what most people wanted to learn a hair tissue mineral analysis was, so they could get more clients. But what it really was about was more of a sense of pride, and a sense of pride in I'm really helping these people and I'm really making a difference in the world. Because health coaching, most people have had their own personal health journey. That's why they got into it. That's why I got into it. And they just have this deep desire to really help people, maybe almost to a fault, so much that they underprice and, they break boundaries and all of that. But it really was about a feeling of pride. And so that's what I really connected to on the light bulb video that I created.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Yeah. It's fascinating, isn't it? We can really know our target audiences, and we can talk to our students every day, but sometimes there can be pieces that we're missing of their experience just because we didn't know to ask the questions. And that's nobody's fault. Certainly not. We're not trying to miss these areas, but there can be blind spots. Might be a little bit, maybe not harsh, but a little bit, a little harsh. But they end up being as huge opportunities for us to connect even more with our audience. Yeah.
And I think some people they're not even necessarily aware of it. Kind of what I got from it, like the whole pride thing, I don't even think they really know that in a way. They feel it, but they're never verbalizing it, right? It's always oh, I want more clients. I want more clients, or, I want my practice to be successful. I want money. That's kind of what we hear. But when you go deeper and you're well, why do you want that? And why do you want that? And tell me more about that. They're well, I just want to feel like I'm helping people. What would that feel like? It would feel like pride. And that's kind of what came up over and over again.
Yeah.
When hearing you talk about it, I think it's the difference between the logical, mental, I want more clients versus the like real heart of the business. Oh, it's a pride thing and really being able to serve more people. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So I'm curious, do you have plans to link up the courses, put that one on a circuit? What are your plans with how you're marketing both of them now?
Yes, I do really want to put the other program on a circuit. I feel like I'm in summer mode right now. I'm going through like a stage of my business where I'm kind of just gallivanting, working like 3-4 hours a day, maybe going to the beach, going to the mountains. So once I'm kind of out of that phase and I'm feeling more like business driven, then I definitely want to put the other one on the circuit. And I would like to find a way to kind of like link them better because there is so much overlap, and just, finding a way to kind of, like integrate them so that people know that the other course is available for them.
Yeah, exactly. And
not to get to a circuit.
I was going to say not to get too much into coaching, but you could eventually set up an automation for people who have purchased at like a certain point in that basically invites them to opt in for the circuit for your business course.
I love coaching, so I will take that.
Yes.
I will take that. Yeah, no, that's a good idea to kind of do it like at a certain point, like maybe not right away, but after like a little bit of time of them being in the program.
Yeah, exactly. If there's an average time when they start to implement, that could be like right about there, maybe a little bit after. Once they start to really master it and start to see some of the benefits of it and the benefits of that their clients are experiencing, that can be a really great time to say like, hey, you could help even more people and let me show you how, and then get them into the circuit for that. Yeah.
I love that. It's simple. Way more simple than what I was thinking. So I'm going to take that advice.
Well, that's the fun thing, right? Like it can be simple. It's not easy. As you said, I would never tell anybody it's easy to build out a circuit because it requires thinking and it requires strategizing. It requires digging in and learning about our customers and maybe thinking about and messaging in ways that we haven't before. But once you do it, you can go to Italy for a month and still be making sales.
Yeah, it was really fun to make all that money while I was in Italy. I was like, great. I'm like, and there's cell service everywhere in Italy, even when you're in the mountains. I'm like on top of a mountain, I'm getting like my Stripe notifications. And I'm just like, this is great.
Extra dessert tonight and tomorrow night and another Aperol spritz. Thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Fantastic. That's amazing. I guess what I want to ask is if someone said to you, I've heard about the circuit thing or the circuit sales system thing, and I'm interested, but I don't know, I've taken a lot of courses before. What would you tell people?
Yeah, I mean, I think they should definitely sign up for it because I think what is so good about your course is like the messaging, right? Because I've always been of the belief that like, that's like the main reason why people are struggling to get sales. Like, and messaging is so key. And I think since, COVID and all these new businesses coming online and there's like more saturation and, there's more buyer hesitancy, especially right now with the economy, like your messaging has to be really good, I think. And I think a lot of people make assumptions. And I like how you really push people to get the information from the client with the market research interviews, and then really weave that into the entire circuit. And I think too, entrepreneurs like work so hard already. And it's great if people can get away from doing things like sales calls or even live launching. But that being said, like, I also love how you have worked a way to do live launching, like into the circuit, because, me personally, like I like to do a live event every now and then because it's fun, right? I enjoy it. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do too. It's just nice to not have to rely on it, that it can actually be fun instead of like, oh, it's got to work.
Yeah. Well, it's the pressure of it, right? Like it's the pressure of it. And I think anyone who's launched knows, I call it like the launch hole, which is just like that, because you get a few sales initially and then you're like, don't get sales until like the last minute when everyone wants to buy. And like, that's when I go to like the dark place. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm just like, it feels so horrible because when you're relying on that, like you just feel like, oh my God, no one's going to buy. And it's really hard not to go there, even when you've been in business. Like I've been in business almost a decade and I still go to the launch hole, And so it's nice to think of like, oh, I could live launch and I'm not relying so much on it. And if it doesn't go as well as I thought, well, it's okay because I know I'm going to make sales through the circuit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned sales calls too. Was that something you were trying earlier as well when you were live launching, or were there other methods that we were using to market your program?
I've always really mostly sold through live webinars. And I stopped doing sales calls. I think when I was a health coach, I've literally done hundreds of sales calls. That's basically how I sold. And I got really burnt out from that. And the first business program that I ended up launching was a mastermind. And I remember, I sold it out. I sold out like 14 spots in this, $12,000 mastermind in like 4 weeks. And that was great. But like, I got sick for like 2 months after that. Cause I was just like the pressure and just like you have to do so many sales calls. And it's hard not to really, when you need to sell something out, it's hard not to get like emotionally attached. And it really just burnt me out. And that's when I realized I couldn't do sales calls anymore. And so, I've always kind of had I sell a bit of a mid-ticket program, right? My hair tissue mineral analysis it's $13.97 on the fast action and $18.97 on full. And my other program is $2,500 and $2,000 on promo. So, it's a bit of a higher, price point. And so a lot of people will tell you need a sales call. And I've always been really determined not to. And I've been generally successful. But when I knew that like the circuit could really be successful was when I put down the money for CSS, which is much more expensive than what I charge without a sales call, without even really knowing you. To be honest, I was just like, I want this method.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes. Well, and I'm so glad you did. It's been, it's been wonderful having you in the community, but I'm also just so thrilled for you that you've done the work and you've made this happen. And not only that, you are now helping so many more people put this in their businesses. And then by that, they are helping all of their clients with the hair tissue analysis. So it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you putting your program out there because it's just really, it just flows really nicely. Like it's really nicely put together, very easy to follow. And while you do have to do a lot of work in writing, like just because you laid it out so perfect, like I never felt overwhelmed. I know the amount of writing that goes into any funnel. Like I've been doing this for a long time. So I was like, this is going to be a lot of writing, but it's okay. Because the payoff is good. And I like that you can kind of like, I haven't fully finished my funnel, right? Like it's, or my circuit, like I think I'm up to like 4 or 6 months. And then I have to kind of build out the rest, but it's nice. You do like a bunch of work up front and then you can turn it on and like finish the rest later, which is really nice. And that kind of makes it a little bit more bite-sized as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Kendra, this has been so amazing. And again, thank you for getting on the call, but also thank you for being in the community. And I know you've been sharing stuff for feedback, and that's always fantastic, and collaborating in the group. And that's invaluable. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Someone is listening to this and like, either I want to be in her program, or maybe they're thinking like, oh, how do I connect with someone that she's trained for the hair tissue analysis? How can people find you?
Yeah, so they can go to my website, kendraperry.net. You will find the link to my light bulb video to learn more about hair tissue mineral analysis if you're a practitioner wanting to add it into your practice. There's also a tab for if you want to work with an HTMA practitioner. So if you want to work with someone who's done my course, maybe you're having a lot of like fatigue or digestive issues and like nothing's working. It's a really fantastic test to give you a ton of information. And my practitioners are all highly trained in that. So you can check out my website. And if you want to connect with me, chat with me, shoot me a DM. I'm pretty active on Instagram and my handle is @KendraPerryInc.
Awesome. So everybody, we will include that information in the show notes. So, or, scribble it down or go follow her on Instagram right now, because here you are.
Sign up for the light bulb videos when I'm
Yes, I'll sign up for that. I know, right? I want to learn more.
Yes.
But again, Kendra, thank you so much. And with that, we will catch you all in the next episode. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Do you want to learn how to sell and scale your offer on autopilot every single day without the chaos of live launching or the low conversions of Evergreen? Who doesn't, right? Get our free on-demand video training at circuitsalessystem.com/free. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to make sure you never miss a video. We'll catch you next time.